Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Murphy Jr., the CEO of the G.W. Murphy family of businesses. Today, I'm here with Terry Wilkins, and Terry works on the sales team at G.W. Murphy Wholesale, our two-step division. So I've asked Terry to come in here today and to talk to us about yes-minded. So yes-minded is one of our core values. It's the why and the value G.R.I.T.Y. And so Terry, I talked about this on another video with you, but you were part of the team, the ad hoc team that we put together to kind of vet out these values and to see what really fits. And yes-minded is one of our more unique values, but I think it's a great one. It's one of my favorites. And
Mine too. Yeah.
I think it's something, and the reason why I asked you to talk about, because I think it's a value that you really have exhibited well. But I'd like you to just share a little bit about what yes-minded means to you, and then how you think about that and use that like in a normal day.
Okay. Well, when I think of yes-minded, I think of, when I was growing up, my dad would always say there's two types of people in the world. There's those that make excuses on why a job couldn't get done, and there are those that get the job done. And so growing up, that, is that an excuse? And it's like, no, it's not an excuse. It's a reason. And it's like, well, you should work that reason out and still get the job done. And so it was interesting growing up and trying to do things that you were asked to do. And then, and then as I got hired on at G.W. Murphy, and you came out with this G.R.I.T.Y, it was awesome. But as we were sitting in those meetings, I was like, well, yes-minded, that's kind of a reach as far as trying to find something that fits. But it fits. And it fits well with the values of the company. And it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I wanted to take a second and just read from this handout that we give employees on what yes-minded means. So it says, yes-minded, we look to say yes, searching for what is possible, and we're committed to finding solutions for our customers. Being yes-minded requires time and commitment, which we're willing to do if it works for all parties.
Right.
So did you just want to speak to that? I'm sure something popped in your head as I was reading that.
It did. I remember when I started doing logistics coordinating. And Bill was my supervisor, and he would always say, you don't say no. You say, let me look at it. Let me take a look at it, and we'll see what we can do. That's what he said. Because if we're not able to do it, maybe somebody else is able to do it. Or he would always look at it from a different angle or something else, and he'd be like, well, we could do this and this and this. And sometimes it was, the quick no was, in a statement it says it takes time. Sometimes the quick no was just easy to say no.
Right.
It was easy to say, yeah, we can't do that. And also, there was black and white. You had rules that you had to follow as far as making things happen. And if you didn't want to do it, well, you could fall back on a rule of, well, I can't, we can't do that. But then when you think of yes-minded, it's like, well, I can't do it, but somebody else can do it. And so let's get a hold of that person and let them do it. And so
looking for solutions, really.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you've ran into it. I think many of us have, especially since I know I have been challenged with yes-minded often, because it'll come up to me, a situation and where we're looking for a solution. And sometimes somebody's looking for a no, but knowing that it's one of our values, I first look to say yes whenever it's possible.
Yes.
And sometimes that sacrifices our time to make a yes happen, or somebody else's time, or maybe it affects our profitability. But the bottom line, and it goes back to the golden rule, one of our other values, right, is
right.
Often you're saying yes because it's the right thing. It's what you would want done to you.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to put on a different hat. I mean, sometimes you have to do something that's out of your comfort zone,
right,
or something that you're not very good at, but for the better of the company, for the better of the customer, for the better of for everybody involved, to say yes and then just put your best foot forward.
Yeah. As you said that, like it triggered a memory. So you have worked in numerous positions with the company, and I'll rattle these off. So forklift operator, supervisor, logistics coordinator, sales, and truck driver. Not in those necessarily that order. That order.
No.
But you've sat in a number of different seats, and I'm very grateful for that. And often that was because we needed you in a different role. We're like, Terry can do this.
Yeah. And sometimes Terry couldn't do it, but he tried to do it. And so
well, we had faith in you. And when we had faith in you, but you were maybe questioning it, I appreciate your willingness to say yes. But at the same time, you know, as I was reflecting just now, I know like when you've been in a sales position and I'd go be looking for you for something. And I'm like, where's Terry? And they're like, oh, he's doing a delivery. He's in a truck. But maybe somebody was sick or called off, or maybe we were just trying to get an extra order out per day. Yeah. But I really appreciate your willingness to say yes and to do something that you probably didn't want to do. It'd probably be better to be in an air-conditioned office in the middle of the summer.
No doubt, than to get in the trucks again.
So did that trigger any memories?
Yeah, well, sometimes it was my own customers, so I don't want to take that as you know, but other times it was, I mean, when I first started, I remember it would get busy out there, and Bill, the supervisor, Bill Wallen, he would go out and get on a forklift and actually help us out and everything else. And I think that triggered, you know, you're never too good to do something that if you can do it, then do it. And
that sounds gritty, Terry.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, and so I think I got a little bit of that from Bill. Like even though that's not your job, but you know how to do it, and if they ask you to do it, now sometimes I would want to do it. Like I said, it was my customer, so I wanted to get that sale, or I wanted to make it happen, and things like that. And sometimes you have to get reeled into, no, that's not your job. Your job is to do this. Right. But other times it was, you know, hey, so and so called off, and this guy needs this material out there, and you're like, you know, yeah, it could wait, but I know that the weather's nice, and I know that it goes back to the golden rule. I know what the roofer's wanting to get accomplished that day, and I can fill that. I can, you know, like plug up the dam and keep the water from leaking, or whatever scenario you want to use. I can help. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help the company and help the customers and things like that. And so you're like, yeah, I could do that.
That's awesome.
You know.
Well, Terry, I appreciate your positive attitude and your willingness to say yes, whether that's in your job or trying to work out a solution for a customer, or even something that I might ask or Dan ask of you, and to always have that yes-minded mindset. So thank you for being part of that, for being part of this company. We really value you. And thank you for everybody that's watching today.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks.